Customer service. It's wild out here. I'm sure you heard about the barbecue sauce incident at Bill Miller's. Ooh, that's some corporate cheeseman right there, honey.
That really is like.
I was like, babe, throw barbecue sauce on me the next time we go. I'll fucking get my bag, you know? I was like, you know how many questionable like tripas I've had like from the taqueria down the street? Man, I was like, we could be rolling in it.
I know, and it was like, was it millions?
Millions. It was like 2.3 or something.
Yeah.
Some insane amount. Her original ask was $1 million.
Yeah.
And then it ended up being 2.3 because of like the back and forth. And she's like, I never got an apology. I was reading all the articles and I saw the picture.
Yeah.
That was a gnarly picture.
Yeah, it really was. It was hot.
It was hot. And I'm like, poor baby. She ate her tacos alone in the car in the back. The way that they described it, like she was like some sad, poor barbecue-less, like destitute. Like, I was after school and I was so hungry and I didn't have nowhere else to go but the Bill Miller's dumpster in the back, and all I wanted was non-cold tacos. So I said, please give me some hot barbecue sauce for my bacon and egg, and then now I look like a piece of bacon on my eggs. I'm sorry if you're watching, Burn Barbecue Lady. I love you. I'm happy for you, girl. Do all the things. Buy some property.
I know. And do this and what's your and?
And start your own barbecue sauce company and only serve it at lukewarm temperature.
Lukewarm. Maybe that's the name.
Ooh, Luke's warm. You know what? We are marketing geniuses because we've already come up with Luke's warm barbecue sauce. And what was the other one? The Pythagorean pop. We have a viral TikTok trend coming your way.
And the next dance.
And Luke's warm barbecue sauce. It's funny because it's a play on words.
Yes.
And
alliteration.
Oh my gosh. Barbecue sauce lady, we're here for you. What are you doing to
a
your
moment
face?
for my cheeks, they hurt. I'm just laughing and laughing. Oh my goodness.
That's what I do. I actually am doing another interview with the Rape Crisis Center, and they're doing like hope through laughter and like help through laughter.
Yeah.
And like how does laughter like heal your soul?
Yeah.
And I love to laugh. I know that sounds like totally cliche, but I just love to laugh.
Yeah.
I love to. I take in a lot of stand up. I appreciate like just good comedy, and some of the funniest women that I've met are like my tias, like cousins, like primos. Like I hear like the jokes, like I hear them like at like the beauty salon or at HEB or at like, you know, like I'll go to an event and I'm like, man, everybody's so funny.
Yeah.
Why aren't we telling our stories? Like where is the representation? Or like when I see people who like they're lit up at work in places where they're not like performing.
Right.
They're not like, they're not focused on work. They're like, oh, they're in the break room. And then that light is shining and then they go to the desk or they go to the meeting and they're dim. Mm-hmm. I'm like, no, why?
Yeah.
Please be that.
Yeah.
Please be that and advocate for like your customer group to look like you and be like you. Like tell your stories so that representation is everywhere, because honey, we have to fight for our stories now more than ever. More than ever.
Yeah, no, seriously. You're right though. Like my family is, it's kind of like the picking on each other, but they're hilarious.
Yes.
You know?
Yep.
I have an uncle, he's been on the podcast. He story tells on his Facebook, like long form stories that he types out.
Oh.
And they're hilarious. They're his everyday interactions, but like his writing of it, I'm like, Theo Ricky, you should be a writer. Like, and he gets all these comments. Anyway, I'm like, even that type of storytelling.
Yeah.
Like, just share with your community. It makes a lot of us feel a little bit more seen, more normal. And like we can show up and just be our authentic selves as well, you know?
Yeah. That's why none of us know how to make tamales.
Yeah, because nobody shared.
Nobody showed us. That's why all of our masas either it's too like it's
the
too
meat
thick.
to masa ratio for me is
none of us can figure it out. Where were you at, Wella?
Yeah, exactly.
Tell us the story of how you did it.
I'm like, or we have to go get them from Bill Miller and then see what happens. Just kidding.
You want us to get burnt and become millionaires? Because we'll do it. Or you could just teach us.
Your ways, Mr. Bill.
Mr. Bill. And Mr. Bill, if you're watching, we understand accidents happen. That's okay. We are going to develop Luke's warm barbecue sauce, and you can just serve that on the side.
Yes, exactly.
Bill, is Bill watching?
I think so. He's watching.
He already bought bugs. Like
he's asking his wife.
He was like,
to clap.
those are heat resistant. He's asking his wife. He's like, babe, I got you the bugs. He's like, and I got that sauce for you, honey. Oh my god, this podcast went like so many.
Oh no, I love it though because like this is how I joke with my friends.
Yes,
just like, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, guess we're friends now.
We're friends. And you're also just a nice person. Like that limited interaction that we had at that one event is all I need to know. It's all I need to know.
Well, you know, and that was like the third time though that I tried to talk to you. I was like, damn, she's popular. Like, and there's a line every time.
Oh my god. I was at this charity boxing event, and this couple comes up to me really sweet, and they were like, does your daughter go to, such and such middle school? And I was like, yeah, she does. They were like, oh, well. And they were sitting at this big sponsor table, like clearly like they're very important people. And they were like, well, we were so afraid to come up to you. They're like, oh, yeah, it's corporate chingona. It's Michelle Cantu. We can't say hi. And then here comes my friend who's known me for a while. And he's like, she ain't nobody.
You were like,
tell me more. And then I ended up embarrassing my daughter because I was like, oh, they were like, we saw you at the high school night too. And then they told me who their son was. And me not even thinking, I've turned into my mother. I was like, my daughter had such a huge crush on your son. And then as soon as it came out, I was like, oh my God, Lola's going to murder me. And they were like, oh my God, she did? And I was like, yeah, but I think your son totally rejected her. Like hardcore rejected her. And they were like, oh, well, he's really focused on his academics. And I'm like, oh no, it's okay. I was like laughing, so that was hilarious. And then Lola the next day, she's like, what did you do? I have to see him at school. What is wrong with you? And I'm like, I'm so sorry. Because like they used to be in my stand-up jokes about the kids. And then I had done a public show that was like more family friendly. It was at the big open, the Mission Drive-In. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yes. So I was doing the Viva Mexico Women's Festival. Mm-hmm. And they had baile folklorico dancers, and so they also had like poets, and they had stand-up. So I did like a family friendly version. I did some jokes about my kids, and it got a lot of laughs, but then people, because I was waving to them, and then people afterwards were like, I did a joke about how, like, look at my daughter's big head, and that's why I have a big chocha. Like, I did a...
Oh, no. So then they were guessing.
So they were like, which one of you guys has the big head? And Lola was like, Mom, please don't. Please don't. Tell everybody about how we ruined your life.
Okay, so you had to cut back a little bit.
I had to cut back. And I also had to rebrand. Like, I literally can't have... I was like, I can still have big chocha energy and not be known. People were coming up to me and calling me the big chocha. They were like, so instead of like the corporate chingona, they're like, oh, babe, it's the big chocha. And then...
Sounds like a foreign name.
Yes, it does. And I was like, okay, Cantu, it's time for a rebrand. Like, this is not...
Cantu can't do, no.
Cantu can't do that no more. No.
Okay, I like that it's the energy though, right?
It's the energy. I can still have the energy. Yeah. Because it is about, so like if men manspread and mansplain and take up all the space, then I want the big chocha to take up space. Yeah. I want to have the energy, and I want us to just be as confident. There's a famous quote, and I can't remember who said it, which is just making me so sad right now, but it's a woman, and she was like, all I want is to have the same level of confidence as a mediocre white man.
It's true.
And I love that quote, and I use it all the time. And I can't remember, and it's like I'm totally blanking on what her name is and who she said it, but I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I just want to have as much confidence as a mediocre white man. And so then when I meet a mediocre white man, I'm like, you go, girl.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, man, y'all think y'all can do anything.
I know. But they do. When we talk about what's that, the lingo, like shoot your shot, like, no, really.
Yes.
Shoot it.
Yeah.
Because we count ourselves out. Like, we are our own worst enemies.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, you almost have to just, it's manifesting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Why do you think they call it manifesting?
Womanifesting.
Yeah, womanifesting. That just doesn't sound right.
No.
That sounds like CPS is going to call somebody. Womanifesting. Ooh.
That sounds illegal. They're doing some illegal shit there.
Next OnlyFans episode, womanifesting. Womanifesting. Oh no, now we've gone too far. It is Lady in the Streets.
On.
Right.
This is after dark.
It's the lots in the daytime and it's lits after dark.
I'm gonna get one shirts made with lots and then lits in the back, like business in the front, party in the back.
Right.
Oh my god. You're hilarious.
I'm crying.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, Michelle.
Yes.
Tell me,
what
is something that people don't know about you?
That's hard when literally I talk about my chocha. Okay, what do people not know about me? I get really sad sometimes.
Really?
I think people see me and I'm constantly like happy and bubbly and laughing, and then like even like with my kids, like I'm happy and I'm bubbly and I'm laughing, and I try to control that so much. But then like, girl, when I PMS really hard. And like, what was that show? There was this show where it's like the lady falls on the couch and she like just like she falls like in and sinks in and she just stays in there. Or like what was that movie? Get Out. Do you remember when they do the tea and then he's like falling? That's how I feel. Yeah. I feel like when the sadness hits me, I'm just like, I get really sad. Yeah. And it's almost like it's in like an immobilizing sadness. Yeah. And it just stops me in my tracks. And people never see that. Like my kids, like they will, like they'll check up on me, but they also like tell me that it's okay. Like Mia will be like, Mommy, like you seem tired. You should rest. Yeah. And it's okay to rest. Because like they're always like, you're go. Like our family, we did like vision board. We did our family vision boards this year, which I hadn't done. I always do it, but I had never like invited the family to participate. Sweet. And we did, and we had all the magazines and the stickers, and we did our boards, and then we went around and we talked about what we wanted, and then we did a specific like family section, like what do we want from our family, and almost all of my kids were like, for our family time, we don't want it to always be so planned out. Yeah. They were like, Mom, like on Saturday, like there was one Saturday, I think I had like 4 events. Yeah. I was like, okay, kids, like we're going to go like build period kits for Period Palooza. And then we're going to go drop off the coats for like Haven for Hope. And then I want to go support this like woman owned like bakery. And I want to make sure that I get like some pão de queijo because, also like Brazilian, like, we did like all these things. And my kids were like, can we just like hang out? Yeah. And I'm like, oh, what? Well, like the lady from Spanglish, what does hang out mean? What you mean, hang out? Yeah.
My husband and I say, we quote the, no space between you and me.
No space between us. Yes. What's mean, hang out? That's how I do. I love that movie. Because Adam Sandler, why is he a romantic lead?
I don't know. But he does it well in that one. You're like, maybe not.
I mean, like, his character, like, the idea of a rich chef, like a man with money who knows how to cook. Yes, honey.
Bill Miller.
It's Bill Miller. Can someone please write this script? It's writing itself. And I pour barbecue sauce on myself to entrap him. So it's like part Spanglish, part.
Lawsuit.
No, part. What's that movie with Beyonce and the white girl who's trying to come for her marriage?
What's it called? Damn, I know what you're talking about.
Yes, so that's what I'm saying. It's part Spanglish and part that movie. Part Spanglish, part single white female. Like, just scary. Part Spanglish, part Fatal Attraction, but with more sauce.
Saucy.
Saucy. That's the name of the movie.
Saucy. Look, we're on to something.
Okay, Lady on the Street podcast is about to be Lady on the Street movie studios.
Yeah. We're taking big production.
We are. Girl, we're going to do a barbecue plate sale to raise funds with Luke's warm sauce on the side.
All proceeds go to your next comedy show.
Oh my gosh.
You're hilarious. I bet, being your husband or your kid is full of excitement and like you said, on the go. But I truly get the some days you need to just like take a moment, you know?
Yeah.
And for them to be able to tell you like, hey, because I'm sure they know how important all of that is to you, but to be like, hey, can we just kind of like chill for those are some of the best days when we're just like stewing in our pajamas and
absolutely,
you know.
And I've tried to channel that through the Writing Prompt Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Because it's hard for me to like vocalize that on camera. Like it's hard for me to be sad on camera. Like, and I admire like the influencers who are so like raw and vulnerable, and I'm trying to get there. So I'm like slowly dipping my toe in that water with the writing prompts where I'm like, okay, like the one I just did this week was like about like the snow day, and it was a halt. I don't like being halted. I don't like the abrupt stopping of routine or like, oh, I'm go. And then PMS hits me harder than I expected. I'm like, why am I so sad? Why can I not get up? How many episodes of RuPaul's Drag Race can I really watch in one day?
Yeah.
Like all of them, like several seasons, like not even the good seasons. Like, okay, they're really all good seasons. Like, okay, it's been 8 hours. What did I do today?
Yeah.
Like it happens.
Yes, it does.
And so I'm like, okay, let me channel the sadness or the anxiety or the stress. I can at least talk to them through the prompt as I work my way up through, like maybe including it in the stories or including it in a reel or including it in a face-to-face interaction where I'm like, let's be sad together. But so many influencers that I watch, and I'm sure that you see, like they get gritty with it, they cry. Yes. That's what I connect to. Sure, watching people throw chingazos in the street when they're like, you know, the bar fights, super entertaining. I love seeing everybody's crazy chones in the street. That's funny. But like when I see an influencer like cry, or when they tell like this like incredibly like heart-wrenching story of like a challenge that they're facing or something that they've overcome, or like just something like so sad, and I'm like, I so connect to those stories.
It's the connection part of it. You know,
I love that.
I do.
I love it so much. Do you? I think I've let out some cuss words in this podcast, but there's this group that I follow on Instagram called Fuck Up Nights.
Oh, okay.
And it's a group that gets together and much like an open mic, like a poetry night, they get together and they share their business owners and they share their fuck ups.
Ooh.
And it's called Fuck Up Nights. And they all like, here's how we failed at business. Here's how we failed like launching our brand. Here's how we failed like with our, and they share and like, okay, we're having our fucked up night and then we're going to share our fuck ups and then we're going to be better. And I'm like,
love that.
I'm like, I want to sit in like this failure season and rebrand what it means to fail.
Yes.
And turn it into a positive. So
you
follow
can't
them.
Learn if you don't fail.
Exactly.
Like, oh, I kind of love that. You know.
And people who are pros. This is another thing you said. People who are pros at failure end up advancing in their career, because people who aren't good at failing, what happens when they fail? They get bogged down. Yes. They stop. They like ruminate and they sit in it. Just like become an expert on failure, because people who are experts on failure, they know how to quickly turn around. They can assess what that failure it really is, and they learn from it, and then they move forward. And I was like, this is genius. My second word for 2025 is failure.
Yeah, fail forward.
I put on, you know what I put on immediately? I put on Beck, and I put on that song, I'm a loser, baby. So why don't you kill me? I was like, yeah, failure.
That's what I heard you yelling outside right now.
I scared her neighbors. I was like, I'm about to be on the Lady on the Street podcast.
She said failure. I was like, no.
She was like, failure. And they're like, what's happening in that Latino household? Not the HOA.
Oh
What do you got? Some Olive Garden mints in here?
We're gonna do some
no
rapid
candy,
fires.
not even Halloween or Christmas candy. No,
just
man.
pretend.
What is this?
1, 2, 3. I'll do 3.
Is this Cards Against Humanity?
It should be, but it's hot takes.
Hot takes.
So they're just like.
Mira, they look like hot tamales, but no candies.
No candies.
I'm triggered. Oh, why am I getting Jigsaw energy? Do you want to play a game?
You hear all the doors locked.
I know. The sangria you've been slowly sipping on has an active agent that is coursing through your veins right now. And if you don't do this hot tamales hot takes, you will pass out. Ooh. Oh, these are all about work.
Are they?
Literally, these employees. I'm like, did you curate this list for me?
I did not. I didn't.
Look at God, honey.
Okay. People should be compensated extra for their commute to and from work.
I'm so glad we're talking about this.
Yeah.
How far are people driving? Like you don't understand. Okay, so we had COVID, and then it seemed like businesses understood that there can be balance where you can work some days from home and come into the office. There are some companies like mine, like Nationwide. We had an entire Nationwide facility over there by SeaWorld. Beautiful building. And they shut the entire thing down.
Yeah.
Now I'm 100% work from home.
Yes.
Right? But so then some businesses, when like my sister, she works for USAA. She was like, they want us back like 4 days in the office.
Yeah.
And she lives far. And I'm like, are they compensating you for your mileage? And she was like, nope.
No. Yeah, and it's hard because they didn't before.
Right.
When they sent everyone home, you no longer had to waste that money on gas, so you adjusted your living expenses
You
and
sure
then
did.
to take it back. Yeah, it's crazy that I think it does depend on how far, but also the company itself would argue like it's not their fault you live far. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I understand their thought process on it, but here's the question is me being in the office somehow change my value, what I'm producing? Like, I understand some companies will bring people into the office, like if they're on performance plans, right?
Yes.
Right. Let's be real. How many of us are like binge watching like shows during our lunch breaks? I'm like, ooh, what did they do on Bridgerton? Ooh, oh my God. Yes, I'm like, I'm getting a tea bag. Oh no, I'm making tea. Not what you thought. Cochina. Okay, Chocha, calm down. But so I get it as a means of like bring you into the office because there's a value add.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe it's, hey, we have better collaboration sessions, or if as long as there's like a justification, like as long as there's a reason. But I think if there isn't a reason and you have an associate who lives like more than 30 miles away, come on, 30 miles.
Yeah.
You and I live 5 miles apart from each other.
Yes.
It took me 30 minutes to get to this Shangri-La.
I warned you. I was like, there's a backup.
Ranch. I know. I'm like, shoot, girl, let's meet at the bar. But now that I've been inside the Taj Mahal, I'm like, this is nice. Shoot, I'll drive 45 minutes. But that's the whole point. There's a value add. I came into your space. Mira, sangria, feathers, deep couch, connection, interaction. There's a value. Okay, so then the value of gas money is being replaced by all of these other tangible items.
Yeah.
But if you're telling me you live 35 plus miles away and I'm coming into an office where there isn't any connection, like nobody's really here, all of the rest of my team is remote, you don't have any, like, there's no, right? Like there's no, like a lot of these companies used to have like, you know, vendors who would come in and serve them food. The vendor landscape has changed. The amenities are different. Do you have the on-site to hear? Do you have the thing? No, but you still, so you change. So they're like, we didn't tell you guys to live where you lived. Okay, but your amenities changed. I didn't tell you to change the work experience.
Yes.
Pre-COVID was different than post-COVID. So that's what I think is unfair. Is some things changed. Yeah. And they're trying to flip the script like, hey, we didn't tell you to pick that spot. I'm like, no, my real estate agent did, you selfish son of a bitch. No, my 2.6% interest rate did. Hello, I'm trying not to be poor here. Gosh.
No, I guess, look, you've convinced me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And most of them, I think, could afford something.
Something.
A little extra in it. Like, bump up that annual increase if you get one.
Yeah, or give it to me in a different way.
Exactly.
Right? If you're not going to give it to me at bonus time, give me more PTO to assuage the depression that I feel for paying $75 to fill up a tank of gas.
Yes, exactly. You make a valid point. No wonder. It's like you know a thing or two about the corporate world.
Corporate. I lose all credibility when I like Cardi B at the end. I'm like, corporate, you gonna
No. You gain it. You
gain it.
Okay, your turn.
Okay, my turn. Employees should get a raise each year that at a minimum accounts for inflation.
I would love that. No brainer for me.
Yeah, I'm like, this is just a fact.
Yes.
I thought these were called hot takes.
I know.
I didn't know they were called hot facts. Like,
hot facts, yeah.
Like literally, and there's some women that I coach and they're like, oh, I met my performance expectations all year. And I'm like, great. Like, how much was your raise? They were like 2%.
Yeah.
So you took a pay cut?
Yeah. Well, and also I think like even just teaching women how to ask.
Yes, because they don't.
They don't even do it.
They don't even ask.
Yeah. So that for me is like one of the biggest lessons I've learned. But yeah.
Ask. That's the first thing. Mm-hmm. That's like that literally eliminates like 80% of the competition.
Yeah. Yeah, because nobody's asking.
Except
for the men.
and then once you get the courage to ask, then like research your ask and know what you're worth and look at all the things. Are you bilingual?
Yeah.
Have you been at the company for do you have tenure?
Yes.
Have you learned a new skill? Like, are you advocating in the community? Like me, I talk about this all the time to Nationwide. I'm like, I'm a positive brand for you guys. Mm-hmm. I represent Nationwide so well in your community that people want to know. When people talk to me, oh, you work at Nationwide? Oh, well, obviously, if you're there, you must like it. What is great about there? Because I'm a positive brand. So all those things to build value. And if your company's like, we just don't have the dollars, okay, then do you have the time? Can I get more of your time?
You're right.
Can you pay for my college?
Yeah.
Can you pay for me to like let's say I wanted to do the LLI, the Latina Leadership Institute. Okay, so maybe you won't give me a raise, but will you pay for my certification? Will you pay for me to elevate like my experience? Will you pay for, you know what I mean? Give me something, honey.
Can you help even a title change? Like your
absolutely.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Can you write me a letter of recommendation for this? Can you sponsor me with this new mentor? Can you give me something?
Something. Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, you want more money.
Yes.
Because that's the life game changer.
Yeah.
But the other things are work game changers.
Yeah.
And they do impact the positivity that you have at work. But ask for the money, honey. Always, 100% every time. That wasn't even hot facts.
No, for sure. Okay. Psychological thrillers are scarier than gory horror movies.
Absolutely.
Yes. Obsessed with like the Gone Girl, those things, the mystery ones.
Ben Affleck's penis. Oh my god. What? Luke's warm barbecue sauce on Ben Affleck's penis. Barbecue sauce on Uggs. Not the ASMR. Uggs clown. Girl, we're gonna end up getting her like another 2 million just with all the but yes, like I remember watching. Did you watch it wasn't a movie, but it was the show, the Jeffrey Dahmer one with that scared the shit.
It's scary because that's more likely than like the gory stuff. Yeah. There's some psychos out there.
Did you see the new season of I Am a Killer? The first 2 episodes were San Antonio.
No, my husband cheated on me and watched it without me.
I was like...
He's not perfect.
Oh, okay. I know. I was like, oh, gosh. Springer.
No, I tell him, like, if I said, I want to watch this.
Yep.
And he was like, not right now. And then I saw him upload a picture, and I was like, you whore.
You whore.
You TV whore. I told you I wanted to watch.
How dare you? That was one of our marriage vows. Don't watch shows without me.
Yeah. He's like, we're not on the same sleep schedule. I'm like, I don't care. There's weekends.
Absolutely psychological thrillers, like gory.
Yes.
Except for The Terrifier.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
yeah.
Yep.
Yes, the Halloween version of that thing. I was like,
the white clown with the black. Did you see the first one?
No, I don't. I'm not a scary movie person, really.
Oh, then you could not handle it.
No,
you could not handle it. I will just tell you that and it's very, very gory. Like probably one of the goriest movies I've ever seen. There's a scene where the woman gets murdered and she gets sliced with a chainsaw up her chocha.
Wait,
and they show it.
I think I did start watching it, but I try to fall asleep during those.
You know I'm pro chocha.
Pro chocha.
Pro
I
chocha.
definitely don't want to be putting that up there.
So that was crazy, but it was also kind of psychological because the man is dressed like a clown.
The clown.
He's got some issues.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
I'm very suspicious of clowns. Sorry to the clowns who are currently watching.
Sorry, clown community.
Sorry, clown community. Clown lives matter too.
Oh my god.
Okay. Hot facts. Employees should be allowed to choose to work from home at least once a week.
Yes, I think that'd be great. I think
work-life balance.
In my industry, it's hard for me to relate because a news cycle is 24/7.
I see.
It doesn't really turn off. So but when we did adjust and had a work from home thing working, it worked. People could do it. I loved it.
Yeah.
So yes, I think it'd be valuable. I think people would be happier if they had that at least the one day.
One day,
yes.
Yeah. Now, if it had said, all employers should have their people work from home at least 3 or 4 days a week, then we're probably
That's
stretching
a little
it.
rough, but yeah.
But one day,
give it to them.
Give it to them.
Yeah.
I think we should just go to a 4-day work week, honestly.
I mean, we might be headed there.
I think so. I'm I'm just going to quit 0 days.
0 days. Work from home all the time. Okay, posting selfies of yourself is conceited. No. I don't think so. I joke that you gotta be your biggest hype man,
Oh yes.
And if I'm feeling myself one day or every day, it goes back to the what's bothering you that my selfie triggers you.
Right? It's a picture of myself.
Yeah. What am I supposed to post? A picture of you?
Whoa! That's
not you. Not you.
First of all, she came for my booties, and now she's like, "What am I supposed to post? A picture of you, Chocha?" No, take a picture of yourself. Get your own Uggs.
No, but you know what I mean. I love to see a selfie, from somebody, because I'm good for you. You're feeling cute. You're bold enough to post it, because I know I do this too. If I'm going to take a selfie and I post it and I'm when was the last selfie? Because people are going to be this bitch,
But stop doing that.
I need to stop. Yeah.
Stop. Yeah. Who cares? That's your selfie. Yeah. It's literally you.
Yeah.
And here's the thing is everybody does it.
Yeah.
And what is wrong? And so some people are it's so cliche. What's wrong? You know why cliches are cliches? Because everybody loves them.
Yeah.
Because it connects so many people. So then don't take pictures of your face. Take pictures of your butt. I don't care.
Yeah.
Okay. Hot take. Birth order, oldest, middle, youngest, affects personality.
Yes. I think so.
So I don't know, because you're the baby, and you're unbelievably kind.
Thanks.
I'm so sorry if my baby sister Sophia is watching this. She is also unbelievably kind, but I've met some babies, some youngest siblings who are is garbage too strong of a word? No, recyclable. There's a hope for them in the future.
Compost.
You will give birth to new. Right now, you're an old banana peel.
You're rotten right now.
You're rotten. I literally am slipping on you. Get it together. Tiffany, make her come back.
Your poor sister.
My poor sister. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I just and I think what's true of the oldest siblings that I feel universally, right? having this sense of I need to control so many things because I've been forced to control so many things.
Right.
When people are like, oh, she's so bossy, I'm like, girl, I had to be a boss at 8.
Yeah.
I can't help it if my mom made me the CEO of her daycare company. Like, that's not my fault. Oh, that I started Tiny Tots in my basement.
That's hilarious. No, I mean, I think I feel like it does, but maybe you can outgrow it. I was bratty when I was little. That's why I say that. And my siblings kind of hated me. Like, they loved me, but I was a brat when I was little.
I feel like you should meet my sister.
Yeah.
I feel like you should meet Sophie. Because it's sounding so... I couldn't stand Sophie when when she was younger, because it was like, she could do no wrong. My mother coddled her. We had to... And then everything we did, don't touch it, don't do it. Even with Elizabeth, who's the middle child. So my sister technically is legally blind. Like, she had... Like, her birthmark is on, like, her cornea. Wow. So she can't see out of one eye. Mm-hmm. And again, her eyeball is normal. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, because she had her birthmark on her cornea, my mother was like, I would just get close to my sister. Don't touch her. You're going to pop her eye. You're going to squish it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You're going to squish it out of her face. And I'm like, Mom, it's not a grape. Like, it's still the same thing. Gosh. And so I feel like I couldn't touch my sisters. I feel like I couldn't this or that. You're supposed to take care of them, not hurt them. And I'm like, I only want to hurt them more now. You're making me mad. I'm shutting Tiny Tots down.
This shit is closed. I've had 5 failures today, and I am not about to have the 6th one.
That's right. Today's still savable, Mom.
Oh, Michelle, you are so hilarious.
That was the hot take. And in true birth order fashion, we didn't even acknowledge middle children.
Bye-bye.
Into the octagon, whatever this is.
The not candy holder.
The noctagon you go.
Noctagon. That's hilarious.
We were like babies and older children. Literally, middle children did not even get, like, space in the conversation. That's why those videos are so funny. Like, they are muted. Like, they're like, I'm the middle child.
We did.
We did.
I apologize to all of the middle children out there. We didn't mean it. Or
no,
maybe we did.
I meant it. You know who you are. That's why. So you have 3.
Yes.
Right? So then you know, like, so let's give time to the middle, right?
Yeah,
so I'm raising a middle.
Yes.
And things happen, and I swear it was never my intention for things to have the imbalance that they've had. Yeah. So like, but my middle is taking stock of all the things. Yeah. Right. So like, we were cleaning out the garage, and Lola's baby book, right? Super big, fat, big, all these pictures, and I'm like, okay, first of all, it was 2011. We were still printing photos. Like, it was a different time. Mm-hmm. And then, Mia, she was a little bit later. And where are all my photos? Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, I stopped printing out photos. It wasn't an intent. Where's my baby book? Like, literally, she had, like, 2 pages. Like, Lola had, I think I kept it for, like, 2 years. Like, here are all the firstborn. You're a new mom. You're documenting everything because you're like, I feel like I'm going to forget all of this. Like, this is going to be important later. Like, there's going to be a test I want to pass.
Yes, yes.
And then with my middle, I'm like, I got it. I'm going to be present in the moment. And I'm like, if anything, I feel like I was paying more attention to you and less on the little
nuances
that
you thought you needed to pay attention to.
But in her mind, it's, did you love me less? You didn't like me as much? You didn't take as many pictures of me? You didn't document in my book? She wants to see for her, she's like, the tangible effect of your love is I can hold it. I can see it. Yeah. I can hold Lola's heavy ass book. And so I'm like, I didn't even take pictures of that. And then here comes Valentina, the baby, with the big book. And she's like, then explain that. And I'm like, I said, so I learned from my mistake with you and realized how much it hurt you. So I didn't want Valentina to be hurt. Yeah. And then she's like, bruh.
Like, what do you mean? Yeah, I've become bruh to my middle child. For Harper, I think that so with Bailey, yes, I've got the book. I've got the thing. We did a sweet 6 for Bailey. So she wore like a sweet 16. She had a whole gown. My nephew was her her little
chambela.
Yeah. It was super cute. And so my family would be like, well, are you going to have one for Harper? And I'm like, I mean, I haven't thought about it, but I guess, like, if you guys want us to.
I mean, I'm not putting it out there.
Yeah. So I'm like, I guess we have to, right? But it's a little bit tricky with us because the age gap. So it almost doesn't feel like, I always say it feels like Bailey's still her only child because she's the only older one.
Yep.
And so the middle one, I mean, Harper she's got first child energy. Like she makes herself known.
And she's the 4.
She's 4.
She's 4.
And then Ian's 2. So
you have really good names.
Oh, thank you. You too, Lola. I love the name. Yeah.
That was not supposed to be her name.
No?
No. So I had her when I was a senior in college. And writing was my degree. I also minored in theater and poetry and all. I was a student of the arts, the humanities. I was obsessed with Broadway. Yeah. So I had wanted to name her Adelaide from the 19th, from Guys and Dolls. And I remember everyone was like, okay, did you figure out the name? And I remember telling my family, okay, I picked the name. It's going to be Adelaide. And my grandmother was like, ¿qué?
Like, how do you say it?
She was like, órale. Orale, Adelaide. I know Adelaide. I'm going to call her Orale. And I was like, well, that's done.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, okay, what can I? And so then still in my showgirl fantasy and living my Barry Manilow fantasy, I'm like, her name was Lola. She was a showgirl.
I love it.
And so then we ended up with Lola. And then my grandmother, Lola, yeah. Lola, prostitute. Oh my God, Lola, lady in the streets.
Who are you raising?
And she's like, that's a dog's name too. That's all the dog's name. Lola. Lola. I'm like, oh my God,
they
Grandma.
did that with Bailey. Well, my grandma thought bay leaf,
Yeah, I saw it on your wreath
yeah,
outside.
The bay leaf.
Yes, homage to the child. Yes.
She's like, well, how do you say it in Spanish? I'm like, you don't, Grandma. I'm like, sorry.
She was trying to make it.
She was, but I did want Spanish names. I wanted Caterina.
Ooh.
I also liked Catalina.
Ooh.
But my husband was like, no, I don't. It's gonna be too hard for people to like.
He was like, I can't roll my R's.
Yeah.
There aren't any, but I don't want to do it.
Yeah, no,
don't do it.
He's like, no, it's gonna be, and that's long for them to spell. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever.
Dang, counted them out before they even came. He's like, that one's gonna have trouble spelling.
I'm like, Bailey, he did not believe in you, girl.
Hey, hooked on phonics for that one.
He said 6 letters and no more. No more.
Well, and same thing for Valentina. That was not going to be her name. I had Lola and then Mia, and I was like, I want these short, A names. So it was like Lola, Mia, and Mia wasn't my first choice either. I had a different name, but again, apparently the name that I wanted was somebody somewhere that had that. I wanted to name her Gabriela.
Oh, yes.
I was like, Lola, Gabriela. I wanted these, I wanted super soap opera, telenovela names. And then my husband was like, I hate it. There's this bitch named Gabby, and she did it. And I was like, why do you still think about her? Uh-huh. Why is she still on your mind?
Let's start with that.
Yeah, he was like, I don't want to think about her when I'm thinking about our kid. I was like, yeah, fine. So we ended up with Mia. And then with Valentina, I was like, listen, I didn't get to pick the first 2. This is our last baby. I'm going to name this one. So I was like, Lola, Mia, and then I had picked Ava. I was like, short and sweet, everything rounds out. And then I had made it. It was 8 months, had the baby shower. I had a baby blanket that had Ava on it. I was like, this is it. It's done. It's literally been hand stitched by some old lady who can barely, do.
It's her lash blanket.
This is her lash blanket for baby Ava. And then we're in the car and my husband, I don't like it. Super pregnant. I'm like, you don't like what? I don't like the name Ava. I was like, are you kidding me?
You're like, I don't like you, get out.
Yeah. And then I was like, and so when he said, I don't like it, the baby started kicking. And I was like, look, I guess she doesn't like it either because she's kicking. And he was like, I can never feel, because again, gordita, big pups, I look like I'm about 7 months pregnant right now. So my husband, I always be like, babe, you can't feel the baby. He's like, no, I can't feel it. And so I was like, look, she hates it. And as she's kicking, I was like, feel it. But she's kicking really hard. He was like, yeah, you always say. And then he put his hand and he started to cry. He was like, I felt it.
Oh.
Third kid, and he had never felt it. And then he finally felt it. I was a little skinnier with the third baby. So there was less manteca. Más bebé. And I was like, she's strong, like valiente. And I was like, Valentina. And then our original due date was February 13th. And I was like, it's perfect. And then she just came a week early. So she was February 8th.
Oh.
So she's about to have her birthday, Valentina.
Happy birthday, Valentina.
Happy birthday, Teeny.
Yes.
My baby girl.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Michelle, I feel like I could sit and talk to you for 3 more hours here.
How long have we been here?
We've been about 2 hours.
My watch died. That's how long we've been here.
No.
Apple was like, girl, get it together.
No, it's because I genuinely love having these conversations, and you are a joy. From the moment that I met you, like out in public, just doing your thing, I'm like, I can tell that you are just so naturally a positive person,
yes,
a good person. And thank you for coming here. Like,
you have to send me that intro. It's like the best thing.
Yes, I will.
Send it to me. I want them to read it to me in my funeral. The lady in the streets, she wrote this for me. Lady in the streets have writing skills too. Read it.
We're more than just ladies in the streets.
And bury me in Uggs.
The real
the
ones,
real
not
ones.
the hugs. Okay, wait. Let everybody know where they can find you on socials.
The Corporate Chingona on all platforms. I still do have my stand-up comedy page that actually has more followers, but I'm really into the rebrand. So please follow me, The Corporate Chingona, because my comedy is going to live there, my community work, my writing prompt Wednesdays, my HR happy hours, like all of the things, the speaking engagements, the workshops, it's all going to live there. So The Corporate Chingona on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Facebook. I think I even got it on TikTok, and I was like, that's why it's all the algorithm's all effed up now, and I'm like, forget it. I think I need to get on Lemonade, or there's the new Chinese one, the red
something,
red box. Oh no, that they went out of. Oh, never mind. They're about to be Bill Miller barbecue. But yes, follow me, Michelle Cantu, on all platforms, The Corporate Chingona.
Yes, and you guys, I'm sure that by the time this one airs, you'll just have come off of your comedy show at the Empire.
Well, when is this going to air? Because the comedy show's February 21st.
Yes, so I am likely going to run this at the end of February.
Okay, well then you missed it, honey.
But you will likely have a lot of things coming up this year because we're going to manifest it for you. So
we are.
Make sure that you subscribe, and then of course, please go out and support her in any way that you can. She's constantly doing really great things in the community, and she does call to action. So
you know what? You know what will be coming out? I'm going to be headlining the Femme Comedy Festival. There's going to be an all-women comedy festival coming to San Antonio. It's going to be at Upstage Comedy Lounge, and I'm going to be headlining in March. Let me get the date.
It's early March, right?
It's yes. Follow me, and my link will be up so that you can see it.
I think it's early March because I feel like I saw you post about it.
Yes.
But yes, follow her, support her. Let's make this big shit happen for her. And of course, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure that you like, rate, and subscribe Lady on the Street podcast. It's going to be a really good year, you guys. San Antonio has a lot of fun, a lot of creativity, and great people like Michelle. Again, thank you so much for coming. And yay!
And great. Still all